Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Fun Stuff Friday and of course it's also Black Friday. So what better than to play with the Black Widow pencils? These are the new Dragon set of Black Widow pencils and we will be coloring our 99th hug with these Black Widow pencils. So let's take a look at them. This is, of course, not a full review. This will be the swatch and my first impressions, that sort of thing, of these wonderful pencils. I just love the way they look. They are, of course, the black barrel, black wood. They have the color dip on the end here and a little green band here instead of the orange band that the Monarchs have. So it's got the same dip as the Monarchs, just a different color band here. Of course, it's got the brand, the dragon, the color name, and then a color number. So this color name is Dragon Breath. Ooh. And it's a nice reddish orange color. So of course it's a fiery color. They have a pretty good range of colors in here. Definitely can be a standalone set for a very basic type of thing. This one here is a metallic gold, but it's very light on the metallic. And it's quite a nice yellowy kind of gold. So the only one I had any issues with, like I said on yesterday's video, is this one here is printed backwards. So by the time I get to here, I'm not going to know the number of the pencil, and that's what I have swatched them with, is the numbers. So I will be writing that number down here somewhere. Not a big deal, just one of those things that happens in manufacturing. Sometimes things get put through backwards. You know, I'll reach out to Black Widow and let them know that I have a pencil that is that way, and they might send me a new one, but if they don't, that's fine too. It's not something I'm going to send the set back for. Alright, so just a quick reminder, it is Black Friday, so if you are watching this, thank you for watching. I know that watching sales and being poised to jump on the sale that you're looking for is absolutely one of those things that happens today. So if you're watching today, thank you. Secondly, if you remember last Friday, I did a video about a set of watercolor pencils by Grabby. Grabby is a retail store, and they are also having their Black Friday sale right now. And if you go back to the Friday video last week for those watercolor pencils, you'll also find a 15% off coupon code, which I do believe is Renee15. And if you purchase things, of course, during their Black Friday sale and add that coupon code, you'll get an extra 15% off. They have all sorts of really cool, great prices on art supplies. They also just finished having a contest too, so congratulations to all of those winners as well. All right, so it is swatch time. So who's ready for a swatch? Sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee. This one will be really quick, probably about 2.5 minutes. It's, like I said, really quick. And then when we come back, we'll take a look at the swatch and color with these wonderful pencils. All right, guys, I will be right back. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Sorry, guys. I hit the wrong button. So as you can see, I have put all of the Black Widows together in a 180 swatch chart, and I have combined all of the sets and put them in color order. So as you can see, the dragon set does integrate quite nicely into the set. So you have a huge range at this point of skin tones, of reds, of pinks, of yellows, and oranges, greens, blues, purples, that sort of thing. So I'm going to switch over to the close-up camera so we can take a closer look of where the dragon set fits in. I'm just going to fix this because it is not in focus. So let's just fix it. I thought it was. Another one of those instances when I adjust things and the camera decides, yeah, you're going on to record now, so we're not going to adjust for you. So we're going to put the autofocus in and we'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so the first one here, which is this yellow, as you can see, it fits perfectly in between this yellow and this one. Now this one is a skin tone, a light skin tone, and this one here is the Black Widow. So it just fits right in between those two colors and it fits perfectly. Another dragon one, of course, is this one here. This is a Black Widow from the Black Widow set, and this one here is the dragon, and as you can see, it fits perfectly between this dragon one and this Black Widow. The two of them fit perfectly between the cobras and the Black Widow. So as you can see, it integrates those dragon pencils really nicely into the set, which sometimes when you have sets building like this, the set doesn't integrate, or you end up with a duplicate or things like that. And I didn't find any duplications. I did find that they integrated really well. Like these reds here have integrated quite nicely into that area there with the cobra and this skin tone there. This one here I should have maybe put elsewhere. I should have bumped it down here. But as you can see here with the reds, we have a Black Widow here, the dragon here, and then the cobra here. And it just graduates beautifully into the next color. Same with down here. We have our skin tone. No, this is the scorpion. The dragon, another dragon. These two look really close together, but this one here is darker. And then we have another scorpion. This scorpion here is more into the purple tones like this one here. The camera's not picking it up as well as it should, but it is a little bit more into the purple red tone that this one is lighter of. This is darker. And then of course we have this one here in the pinks that fits perfectly between the Black Widows. And then down here we've got another pink that is close to, but not the same color as the skin tone light here and the Monarch. The Monarch is much lighter and the skin tone light has a touch of orange to it. Same with down here, the Monarch is lighter than the dragon, and of course the scorpion is darker. And then we get into our skin tone area. We have one in the skin tones. This is a light skin tone, good tan color. And of course it fits in between those Monarchs really nicely. It's a little bit darker and may have been better off putting it in front of this Monarch here, but it still integrates quite nicely into the set. And then we have a nice purple down here. This one here is a light purpley blue color, like a cornflower blue. And then we have our purple gray. It's almost a gray purple with a little bit of that red violet, very light red violet. So it takes this color here and this color here and combines it into that color there, which is really interesting. It's a really nice color. I really like it. It gives it that antique rosy feel. And what else do we have on here? And then we go into our blue area, and we have this one here. Where am I? This one here, which is a really good gray blue. It would work really, really well in night sky around your light sources. That would fit really well in there. And then we have our light blue, and this is a nice transition between this dark blue in these robin egg kind of blues down here. I know I gotta stop moving my finger. And then we start into our green blues here and our aquatic colors. There's a couple of really nice ones in here that of course transition into the other colors of the set really, really nicely. This one here is a really nice dark deep sea color. And then this one here is a really black green color, which is really nice as well. And then we start into our greens here. And the reason why I'm keeping the autofocus on, I know it's really annoying because it's going to autofocus every time I move, but for some reason you can actually see the greens in the autofocus so when the autofocus is on. So I'm going to keep it on so that we can see the reds and the greens properly. So we have this green here, which is a really good grassy green. It's got a little bit of yellow in it, but it makes a really, really nice grass green. And then we've got a really good dark green here. It's not heavy green like this one, but it has a good level of dark and light tones to it. It would be really, really good for shadowing, as well as the lighter areas of your evergreens. Now we're going to unfocus for a second here. And then we have this one here, which is a lighter version of your DG142. This is DG144, and it has more yellow in it. And then of course we have our very yellow green here. This is almost a lime green. And then we have, let's see, so as you will see in the chart, as I go along, you'll see that I've got a little tick here, and a number down at the bottom that shouldn't be there. I'll show you why here in a second, because I missed one. So this one here is the gold color that I was showing you. It's almost metallic, but it's not quite metallic. It doesn't have a whole heavy metallic look to it, but it is a nice yellowy brown gold color. So this is DG146, and as you can see on the end of the pencil, it's a gold metallic-y tone. This is actually called cardboard, and it's very fitting. It is very close to the color of cardboard. There is a slight metallic shine to it. I think it would work just perfectly fine just as a regular color as well. It's not a heavy metallic shine. And then we have this area here. So as you can see, between SD016 and BW01, there's a little tick. Well, I missed a pencil when I was filling in the chart, so it ended up down below. This one here is a beautiful tan tone, and it would work really well when coloring things like fawns and animals such as that that have that really light brown tone mixed in with some white. Beautiful color. And then down deeper into the darker browns here, we have a couple of really good medium browns. So this one here has a little bit more red in it, and this one here has a little bit more it's just a darker brown. It's got less red and yellow in it. Great browns for woodworking and that sort of thing. This one here is fantastic mixed in with these ones here for your brick tones, doing brickwork and stuff like that. And then we have this one down here, which is a very, very dark brown, like a black sepia type of color. And then finally we have a medium gray that fits right in between SD18, which is the Scorpion, and the Monarch 125. No, this is Skin Dark, sorry, and Monarch 125. So it fits just perfectly right in there in the middle. It's a medium gray. It's not quite a green gray or a dark gray, but it is a good medium gray, which I found going through them, doing the swatch again, without this one here, it was really lacking that medium tone, which is great. So the one that I messed up on is this one here, and it should, if you're going to follow this swatch chart, I will post it on the community tab so that you can integrate your Black Widows together. If you do follow this swatch chart, this one here should be between SD016 and BW01. This is a skin tone dark 001, and as it shows here, it should go before BW01. Alright, so let's color some of the swatch chart here with these pencils that I have, and then we'll color this set grouping of flowers here, and then we will color in the hug book. Sorry, brain is just not working today. Brain saying, hey, it's a day off, why are you working? So I'm just going to give a quick sharpen. These sharpen up beautifully. They go into a fantastic tight point, which is wonderful. And I have played with them, as you can probably tell. I haven't colored any major areas, but I did play with them, and if you are a member, I did do a special member swatch of just these pencils without integrating them. And that's what I use to integrate them with. Now these are a wax-based pencil, so they smush. You can smush these together, so I'm going to lay down a layer of the light pink here. So this is Lady Jane, and I am only using the Black Widow pencils, the dragon set, for the bottom area here. So that you can see how well they work. I have tested them with other Black Widows, and they do combine and blend together just as nicely. They are definitely the same composition, just different colors. Which is another thing that you have to question when you have a company coming out with different sets, depending upon where they're made. Is the composition going to be the same? Are you going to still be getting the same blend in your pencils as you did the first time? Or are you going to end up with some weirdness in between the pencils where they don't blend together and don't work together? Because when you have a composition set, like when you have a set that you're building from different sets that come out at different times, you have to consider whether or not they're going to be manufactured the same, whether or not they're going to have the same um, composition, the same type of wax, all that fun stuff. So I'm really, really impressed that they have been able to maintain that mixture the same, because these feel exactly the same as the other Black Widows. They have the same smooth feel. They're not scratchy. They're not um, over waxy. They're not over, they have a really good mixture, which is awesome. Of course, these are out of the owner of the company. The company itself is out of Australia, so only good things come out of Australia, right? As far as I'm concerned, anyway. All the good things come out of Australia, except for the bugs. The bugs and all the things that can kill you. Those all come out of Australia too. They can keep those. So the second color that I used, was Maiden Pink, and this one is Rosy. So I'm just putting in that dark area down at the base. And those shadow areas. And then we're going to take our light color again. I didn't finish those. So I'm taking Lady Jane again. And I always love the names that Black Widow comes up with for their pencils. It's just so cute. And I have been told that one of the pencils, which is a lovely blue, that is called Lizard Tongue or something like that, I'll have to look at it, is actually named after one of the creatures that lives in Australia, which is really cool. Speaking of Australian creatures, little family story, which we will probably remember Thanksgiving for forever now. We went to bed. It was past bedtime, so we went to bed, and my husband got up because we have sugar gliders, and they were making a racket that was abnormal for them. And he checked on them, and one of them was hung up in the bedding in his bed. His nails are getting long, so we're going to have to trim them. But anyway, he was hung up in the bed, so my husband got him unhung up and all settled down and everything else, and double checked and triple checked the cage, made sure that it was locked and closed and everything else, and went to bed. And I woke up this morning and I made my coffee, came and sat down at my desk, and was sitting here doing my coupons and that sort of thing. And the next thing I hear is this behind me. And it's like, what is that? I thought for sure we had rodents. And it was one of our sugar gliders, had escaped the cage without my husband's noticing, and has spent the entire night roaming the house. So Wilma had some fun last night. She's back in her cage. She's safe and sound. I'm really surprised that the dog didn't decide to, you know, give her a bit of a scare. But yeah, she spent the night running around the living room and kitchen and wherever else she ended up. So this one here is called Mellow Yellow, and we're going to use it for the center area there. Yeah, so that's the story of my evening or my morning, of Wilma's evening. Now we're going to take some greens, and I'm going to utilize the dark green and the medium green as well as the light green. So we want 142, 141, and 144. Of course, the one that comes out is 143. All right. So we have 141, which is a green glow, grass blade, which is 144, and zombie, which is 142. And I think I need to sharpen up the light and the medium. The dark is pretty sharp. And as you can see, they blended together very nicely. There's not a lot of white spots showing on the flowers themselves, which is great to me because I don't like white spot. I do embrace it with many different things, but there's just some things that you don't need white spot in. Flowers is one of them. Now hopefully this is picking up the green as green. It's a very small area, so sometimes it just doesn't pick it up as well. But of course I will switch it over to the other camera so you can see it a little bit better on the other camera. I have considered just using my other camera and just hand zooming it in, bringing it down close enough that you guys can see what is going on. So that's the light green. Now we're going to use a little bit of zombie on some of them. Trying to sharpen it without shaking you up too bad. Alright, so now let's use a little bit of zombie. And I'm just coming off that center a little bit. Like I said, these are very, very small, so it's not going to show a whole lot unless you're looking at it really close, which I am. Alright, and then we're going to take our green glow and we're just going to draw right down the center of that vein. And do the branches. So I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and had a lot of fun with your friends and family. We had a very quiet Thanksgiving. Things are still not to a point where I feel safe having too many people in the house, so we just had family. the people that live here. And it makes it for a more pleasant evening for myself anyway. I think so anyway. Alright, now we're going to go back over it with our light green and just blend it all together. And you don't have to press hard with these. You can definitely press hard with them and still get that blend. Where with some pencils, especially oil-based pencils, if you put too much pressure on those pencils, they're just going to kill all possibilities of blending. Alright, I'm going to switch you over to the main camera so you can see what type of coloring was possible. And I did not use a blender pencil or anything like that. This is just blended specifically with the pencils, and it's a beautiful, beautiful grouping of colors. So definitely able to utilize just this set to get a beautiful grouping of colors for florals and that sort of thing. So I'm not going to finish these up. I'll finish these up later on when I finish up the swatch chart. We did do the one flower on it. And now we're going to switch over to our 100 Hugs by Chris Riddell. And this is the hug of the day from yesterday, which is number 98, which is our wonderful little fella and his giant rabbit. I know there's a name for these characters and I can't remember what it is. So, and then today's hug is this one here, which is some cyborgs, and sitting on their data cube is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it's a data cube. Alright, so we're going to switch back over to the close-up camera, and we are only going to use the Black Widow pencils for this. I know it's Starjoy is our feature of the month or of the week, but I want to play with these. So we're going to start with our gray, because I want them to have, you know, a metallic silver kind of coloring on them. So I'll do her in gray, and then I'll do him with the golden colors. And I'm just doing the metallic areas with the gray. And I'm going to sharpen this up because it's not very sharp. And I might turn off the autofocus so that it's not constantly trying to autofocus on my hands. Just so that you guys aren't being driven crazy with that autofocus. So let's turn that off. And then we'll just fix the focus so it's nice and clear. There we go. And now it won't constantly try to focus on my hand moving, which is annoying. And I know it's annoying. You ever catch little movements out of the corner of your eye and go, what is that? One of my pencils just rolled on the desk, and it's like, which critter's out this time? So I'm just putting in the gray areas. The little bios and all that stuff is going to be in blues and reds and all those different colors that you find wires in. There we go. Like So I hope you are all enjoying the 100 hugs. It's actually 101 hugs because I colored a hug that wasn't a hug. Because, yeah, I'm an overachiever. So it's actually 101 hugs. And of course, I will do a video with a full flip through of all of the hugs. Of course, it will be I won't be able to go through and tell you each and every pencil that I used on it unless I go through 100 videos and write them all down, because silly me didn't write them down. Because why would you want to do that? I'm going to have my husband laminate them and put them in a protective plastic coating so that they won't get ruined. And then I'm going to have them bound in a proper binding. So maybe I'll 3-hole punch them and put them in a really cute little tiny binder. Okay, I'm going to leave that piece open because I'll add some darker colors to it as well. So I'm just block coloring the entire areas. And I'll move back up so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Isn't that nice of me? Of course, my husband is home today, so if you hear him in the background, I apologize. Or you're welcome, whichever one prefer. If it's annoying, I apologize. If it's not annoying, you're welcome. Because his laugh can be so contagious. Very boisterous, very, very loud laugh. But it's okay because it means that he's enjoying himself. So almost done with the light grays here. Well, it's a medium gray, but the light tone that we're going to be coloring this with. Trying to make sure I don't end up with a weird line there from the paper. Okay. I think I will color this in here too. Alright, now we're going to take that really dark green, blue kind of color, which is called Wizard. I think this is the right one. Nope, that one's not the right one. I want this one, I think. Yeah. Which is a darker gray color. It's a really good dark gray blue color. And then we'll use the next one. This one here is called Dark Night. How fitting. So we're going to use it as our medium tone. It's got a bit of a blue undertone, so You look at this picture and go, oh, it's going to be really simple. And then you look at all the details and you go, okay, not so simple. Because there's, even though there's not a lot of minute details, there it kind of is. And because, yeah, look at all the crevices and dimension to the object, and it seems there's a lot of shadow work and a lot of detail work. That's one thing I am finding with the hugs. Let's try to make sure I'm in camera here. Is that there's a lot of details in these little minute small pictures. The artist was able to get so much detail into them, which is really kind of cool. So I'm coloring this whole area dark in this medium gray tone. Same with the bolt there. I'm going to color the whole thing. Just getting into those shadowy type of areas. Move up to the top of her head here. Reminds me of the Borg. It's a Borg hug. I'm coloring the Borg. I'm just going to make them prettier than the Borg. Because they use a lot of black in the Borg's outer stuff. But all their little wires in their head remind me of the Borg. Alright, so I'm just going to turn you here a bit so I can get into this area here. And down this arm. Once again, this is just the medium color that I'm going to use. I'm going to go into these. I tend to get a little bit quiet when I'm trying to work into small areas, so I apologize if I get too quiet. Once again, just going in to those areas that we want to be a little bit darker, but making sure that we feather it out into that lighter tone, so that when we come in with our darkest color, we have somewhere to put it. Swirling you all over the place, aren't I? Sorry, guys. It's just so much easier to get into those areas by moving the page. going to do this bolt here and these bolts here, and then the edges. So this weekend is going to be busy if it doesn't rain all weekend. Of course, I've got my Saturday color and chat coming up, and we're going to use the Starjoy Golds in a coloring book so that we can get a good sense of how they work on CreateSpace paper, on basic coloring book paper. And that will be our final bit of information, and I will definitely at that point, depending upon how they do on that, be able to give you a full proper review on them. Now they do have their 20% off coupon that is on my Enable station. That is going to be valid from the looks of it. I'm not going to guarantee this, of course, but from the looks of it, it should be valid until December 22nd. Alright, so I'm going to actually take the gold color and we're going to give her some gold embellishments here. A little bit of gold trim, so to speak. I'm just going to sharpen up this pencil a little bit. Now if we could sharpen without shaking everything, that'd be great. And then we're going to go in here. We're just going to get all of those knee pads and extra little bits and do them gold. Because why not? Cyborgs like to be pretty too. They like the bling bling. I know, don't ever say that again, right? That's what my kids would say to me. Don't ever say that again. Okay, now I've got to move up here a little bit. Let's just put a little bit more in here. And then we're going to do here. And in here. And in here. Just getting that gold everywhere. Sorry guys, Just realized that I wasn't even in frame. I get all concentrating on what I'm doing and forget to look up at the camera. All right. Okay, I think that's it for her gold. Excuse me. Now I need number 151, which is Saber. And we're just going to put in a few really dark areas. I'm going to sharpen it up, of course. And we'll just put in a little bit of the darkest areas here and here. Just following that line that the artist put in, those little ticks where those shadows are. Like so. Alright, so there's our shadows down there. Then we've got some in here. And of course we've got a deep shadow in here. And in here. And then down in here. Like I said, I'm just going into those deepest shadows. And this is Saber, which is a really black green color. So it works really well for shadowing. And it works pretty good with this color combination that is in the Dragon set. So these are all Dragon pencils. And so far they're working really, really well together. Sometimes when you have a company that's doing sets like the Black Widows does, sometimes the sets don't work very well on their own. And that's why I'm not using any of the other sets with it, because I want to see how well these work just on their own. And so far they're doing pretty good. And once again, this is just a first impressions video. This is a swatch and a first impression. So of course we will try them on different mediums and that sort of thing as time goes on. Alright. Okay, so there's our darkest of areas. Now we're going to take that light gray again, and we're just going to blend everything together. Just gently go over it and pull the colors together into one color. Of course, don't go over your golden colors, but for your gray colors, for your silver tones, go over it all and just pull all those colors together, eliminating any dark edges that you may have. The one good thing about wax pencils, and Prismas do this as well, is you can blend them very, very well with each other. So you can take a lighter color pencil and just smooth out all those edges just as easily as you can with a blender pencil. Of course, if you are at the saturation of color that you want, definitely blend out with a blender pencil. I only did a very light base coat of this silver tone, so going over it with my gray isn't going to do anything beyond smooth out those colors and brighten up or darken up the colors that I originally put down. Now if I had put down a heavy layer or several layers of this light gray, which is cobblestone, because I didn't tell you before. So this is cobblestone. And if I hadn't put down the light gray first, and I was just using this as the finish, I would have to press a little bit harder to polish that off. But with being able to just put down a light layer, and I've gotten pretty good at reading the paper of this book, so I'm basically just following what the book has told me it accepts color-wise. So it only accepts 3 or 4 layers if you do them properly. And that's why I'm not using a heavy hand, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to continue and do the shadow areas and stuff like that. Alright, so there's our grays and our golds. Now I'm going to take this dark color here and do in here. There we go. And this is just Sabre, which is a dark greeny black color. Just trying to make sure I get into all those crevices. Alright, now we're going to do her mechanics, and we're going to use some bright colors for her mechanics. So let's start with the let's start with this tone here. So this is Serpent, and it's a nice orange color. And we're going to start with this conduit here. So you just have to follow those tubes and make sure that you connect with each other. Like so. And then we're going to take this one here. We'll do our shadow ends on it. And do the next color. So this one here is Sundown, which is a beautiful red-orange color. Great for sunsets. And then we'll use some yellow. So this one here is Gold Dust, which is a darker yellow tone. I'll use a light yellow too, which is Mellow Yellow. And it's not really a light yellow, it's a bright yellow. So it's a very purest kind of yellow. So we're going to do this one here in the yellows. So that's Mellow Yellow, and this one here is Gold Dust. Like so. And then we're going to take, let's take some Bloodshot, which is a red. Do this one here. And there we go. And then we're going to take, let's move into the purpley tones here. So we're going to use Blue Tongue. That's the one that I was telling you about, is I think a blue tongue frog or a blue tongue lizard. I think Angie was saying blue tongue frog or lizard, one or the other. And it actually has a blue purple hue to it, which is what this color is. It's a bluey purple kind of color. I just think it's so cool that there's actually a frog out there named that has a blue tongue. Now I know that's not very bright or very easy to see, but that's okay. Now we're going to use a little bit of green blue, which is called Fizz. Fizz, 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 fizz. And let's not get sharpening shavings everywhere. So Fizz comes up here and down behind here to there. And that one there comes up and over. And we're going to do that one in blue. So we're going to use Pleasant Blue. Pleasant Blue. Because it's a pleasant blue. There we go. And it is a pleasant blue. Alright. And then we're going to take that gold again, and we're just going to fill in the bottom of the conduits here, where they connect to her skull cap. Alright, and then we're going to take the blue color And we're going to put this as some glass. So we're putting in that glass coloring. And then we'll take some reds. I think I want, which one do I want? I think Sherazade, which is a nice dark red. And we will do the mechanics in her skull here. Like so. And then we're going to take a little bit of a pinky tone. I think the orange petal. No, I think just the Lady Jane, which is a light pink, as you saw with the flowers. And we're just going to fill that in because most brain matter is a pinky gray color. And I do have a bit of a pinky gray, don't I? I think this one here. And we'll just fill that in a little bit. Just get that brain matter kind of color in there. There we go. Now we're going to do her skin tones. Because they're cyborgs, they're made to look like peoples in their facial areas. So that's the wrong one. Not this one. And then we'll come off of that one. The one that I just used, of course, is Orange Petal. And then this one is called Sandpiper. Which gives a pretty good combination there. Now we're going to grab a little bit of this one here, which is Lady Jane. We're just going to put it in her cheek area here. And then we'll blend it in a little bit with the Sandpiper here, like so. And then we're going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this one here, which is Dark Night. Do her eyebrow and her eyelashes. And we're going to take Bloodshot and do her lips. Like so. And we have one of our cyborgs all done. Now we're going to start all over again. Now this one, however, we're going to do him all in gold. And we'll do his accents in the silver color. So here. Just trying to figure out where his arm is and where his body is. Yeah, because his body's different than hers. Move you up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm going to grab a sip of coffee here in just a second because my throat for some reason just suddenly felt very dry. Trying not to press too hard because the paper will tear and we don't want that. But with metallics I find that I do press a little bit harder trying to get that metallic shine. I know it's not coming, but I still try. Alright. Almost all done here. With this color anyway. Alright, now I just got his legs to do here. Fill that area in. Trying to get all those bits and pieces all done up. Like I said, sometimes just to follow the details on these little tiny pictures is phenomenal. You know, it's like there's so much detail. Okay. And there's our gold areas done. Now we're going to take Castle, which is a brown, and it's in the darker brown area. And we're going to do our shadow areas for the gold. Because he has so much of it, there's going to be a lot of shadow. Now I'm not going to do a huge deep shadow because I don't want it to completely take over that yellow gold color. But we're still going to put those deeper shadows in, just enough that you can see the shadow in it. And if I need to, I'll go through and blend it a little bit with the blender stick to get those colors to blend together and move around a little bit. But I think just having this little bit of shadowing is more than enough to give you that illusion. And of course we're going to go over it with the silvery gray colors and build that silver tone as well. Now we're going to go up his leg a little bit more into his kneecaps and those areas that are going to end up having more darkness. Like that. Alright, now we're just going to go down the edges here. Almost all done. I apologize for the buzzing noise. It is my phone and people can leave me a message. I'm really enjoying these black widows. They're smooth and they're just laying down on top of each other really nicely, which is fantastic. And it would help if I was in screen. Sorry guys, I got carried away. I was putting in all the pretty colors. Alright. So far, the colors integrate beautifully into the original sets of the Black Widows, the Scorpions, the skin tones, all of those. These integrate beautifully into all of them. They can be used. So far I'm not having any issues at all using them as a standalone product. You may find that there's not enough of one or two colors if you use those colors a lot, but as a standalone product right now, for what I've been coloring today, I must say that they are working out quite well. There's a good selection of light and dark browns. There's a good selection of greens. A huge selection of blues, fantastic selection of red, which is hard to find in any set, never mind a 36 set. But that's one of the reasons why this set came out, was because the Black Widow set needed more reds. And I think they definitely achieved that. And give this a little bit more of a sharpen, just so I can get into those deeper areas a little bit tighter. They do sharpen beautifully. You can get a very, very, very sharp tip on it, which is wonderful to me, because I like having a sharp tip. And because, you know, when you're coloring into really small detailed areas, a sharp tip is most beneficial. Also when you're doing hair and fur, having that sharp tip is definitely beneficial. Alright, now we're going to go through with our gray. We're going to locate our gray first. What did I do with it? I think it's here. Yes. And we're going to fill in the silvery areas. I think I want this area here. Oh no, we'll do it all gray. Just gotta, oh, I missed a conduit there. Wonder if that's a yellow one. Yeah, that's the yellow one. Okay, so we need this color. There we go. I missed one. And give it a good sharpen, because I also missed a little bit here. Okay. Alright. I end up touching her up all day. So I'm just going to blanket base color the gray area here, which of course is going to be the silver area. So I hope you guys have been able to get some Christmas shopping done, or some shopping done with the Black Friday sales. I have a special coupon area for Christmas stuff. So if you have anything that is not coloring related, let me know. Goodness, sorry about that. Suddenly decided my brain needed to sneeze. And I didn't think you guys wanted to hear that. Alright. And once we get his silver areas done, we'll finish up do his brain surgery stuff. And we need some gold in there. And of course I'm off screen again. And come down in here. And we'll go through with our darker gray and do our shadow areas as well. I sniffle all day. Sorry. All right. We're almost done with the light gray here. Like so. Alright, I think that's it. Oh, no, completely missed an entire area. Completely missed his hands and this arm. And then this hand here. Alright, now we've got our silvers in there. Now we're going to grab Dark Night and do our shadow areas. Like so. Oh, welcome, Shelby. Thank you very much for subscribing. Alright. Always good when a subscriber subscribes while I'm filming. I love it. I do. Because I get to say welcome. And thank you. But you don't get to do a whole lot of when you until afterwards. And then you have to do blanket ones because, you know, it's hard to tell everybody that's subscribed. There we go. Now we're going to do his brain stuff. So let's start with the green-blue color. There we go. And then we're going to go into the orange. And then we'll add a little bit of this orange. For those shadow areas. And then we're going to do a yellow. This one, and then I think we're going to do a red one. It's all messy, but that's okay. And then we're going to take the Picasso Sky and put it in there too. Like that. And then we're going to take this one here and we're going to do his glass work here. And then we're going to take the pink and do his brain work. And a little bit of brain purple. And then we're going to take our take this green here and do his brain functionality stuff. Again, with the skin tones, we're going to start with the darkest, which is Orange Petal. Just going to sharpen up these a little bit here, and then we're going to come down into his face here. Putting shadows in where they need to be. And then we're going to use this one here, which is Sandpiper. To combine them together. Then I'm going to take a little bit of Saddle and just tan him up a little bit. Like so. And we're going to use gold for his eyebrow. Like that. Alright, now let's do our cube. And we need the gray for the outer area here. Sorry guys, keep on forgetting that this book isn't as big as other books. So I'm just blanketing this whole side of the cube here with this gray. And then we're going to take a Dark Night and we're going to put in some shadows. or at least some tarnish areas. I think shadows because it's plugged in down there into the database there. Like so. I'm going to take this one, we're going to put that there and here. And we're going to take the red and put a little light there and a little light here. Like so. Then we're going to take this one. No, we don't want wizard. We won't. But we really, really won't. There was another one that we were using and I can't find it. Was it Dungeon? Yeah. No, that's a little brown. Don't want brown. Dungeon was for the other one. Oh no, there it is. Found it. This is the one I want. Okay. I'm gonna do this part here. I'm just going to do the darkest areas of their shadows on the cube. Like so. And then we're going to take that gray again and we're going to fill it in. And extend that shadow out. Same with on the back. And then we will take this one, which is the one I just had. That's not the one I want. We're going to take Dark Night and we're just going to extend that out a little. Getting into that shadow area there. Alright, so there's our cube. Our cube is all finished up here, I think. And then we need our gold for the conduits on the floor. Well, not conduits, the, yeah, little computer things. So basically what they're sitting on is a motherboard. course, you know, you can do it in silver or you can do it in gold, copper, all of that fun stuff. Now that's a wiring situation, so we're going to go on that area with some silver over top, gold underneath. With the silver wires. Well, gray. And then we're going to take our gray and we're going to fill in around it. Just very loosely. I'm not doing it very dark or anything. Just enough to resemble the circuit board here. And there we have it. Alright, so I probably was off screen the whole time I did that. I am so sorry. I gotta remember to look. Typically I have it zoomed out a little further so it's not so difficult to maintain on screen. But for some reason I didn't zoom it back in or back out, so I apologize. So I'm going to switch you over to the main camera so you can see all the different colors that we used. So we have used quite a few colors out of this set for this picture. So as you can see, you can do an entire picture with the set and still not use all of the colors. And there we have our Cyborg hug. And we're going to find our pen, maybe. Where did I put it this time? Oh, you'd think that I would learn. Ah, there it is. So it is November 26th, 2021. And this is hug number 99. We have two hugs left in this wonderful 100 days of hugs. We have the Harpy hug and we have the Mama hug. And those are the last two hugs that will be done on Saturday and Sunday, and that will be the end of 100 hugs. I hope you have enjoyed the video. My first impressions of these pencils is they blend into the existing sets very nicely. I don't have any overlapping color between this set and the other sets. They do lay down beautifully. Even on this paper, they lay down just like butter. Even on the 100 hugs pages, they lay down really nicely. They do take up a little bit of tooth, but this isn't very toothy paper anyway. It's a newspaper type of paper, so it's definitely not something that is meant for coloring on. They are a wax-based pencil, and I'm not overly fond of wax-based pencils, but I do find them enjoyable to use sometimes. And so far, from what I've used of the Black Widows, including the Dragon set, they are a beautiful set of pencils. Yeah, so definitely when they come back in stock, they are currently out of stock on Amazon, but when they come back in stock, they're $19. So it works out to let's take a look here. Let's grab our handy dandy calculator, and 19 divided by 32. I think there's 32 in the set. Let me see. 36. Almost shorted them. It is 20 less than 20 cents, or it's basically 3 cents. No, 27 cents a pencil. So let's see. 0.27 times 36. Nope, that's not right. So let's do it this way. 18.99 divided by 32. Okay, so they're about 60 cents a pencil, which is a little bit expensive for a budget pencil, but they do lay down beautifully. And like I said, they do integrate into the original sets. So if you have the 144, which is what the original sets were, this set will enhance that 144. Do you have to have them? Like, have to have them? Absolutely not. The 144 set does perfectly fine on their own. Each set actually works quite well on their own, but combined they make this super set. And having full set syndrome, I need the super set because I just do. So I did break down and buy them as soon as they hit the market, quite literally. as as soon as I could, I bought them. And to be honest, wasn't my original, not originally my favorite pencils. I've never had any issues with them, but they're a wax base, so I have a tendency to avoid coloring with wax based pencils. But these are pretty nice, and I will be coloring with them more. Tomorrow we will be coloring in a coloring book. We will be coloring in the Rachel Minsk coloring book, the 100 grayscale, 100 cute grayscales. So we'll be coloring in this book tomorrow. And we will be coloring and giving our final thoughts on the Starjoy Golds. So I started this with them. So I'm debating on finishing this or starting a new page and doing a simple small page, because this took me hours. So, but the colors are absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely not a mixture of combinations. This is just me grabbing pencils and putting them together. So we may do something really sweet and simple like that, or with it being Thanksgiving this week, we may do this one, which is Endless Giving. And it touches my heart. It's just the cutest thing ever. So we may do that one. That's the one I think I've picked out, but we'll ask. We'll do a vote on which one, the little foxy or the little mousy. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Either the little foxy and the balloon or the little mousy with her almond. And we will decide what we'll be doing tomorrow that way. Alright guys, thank you all very much for watching. I do apologize that this has been a very, very long video. I didn't realize it had been 2 hours. Thank you all very much for watching. Shelby, thank you so much for subscribing. And everybody, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Have a fantastic day and a wonderful weekend if I don't see you tomorrow for Saturday Color and Chat. All right, bye bye for now.